Monday! I just dropped off my kid at band practice. Oh my God. They play some kind of technical metal music, heavy metal. There are so many genres of music, you know. When I was younger, I used to listen to punk rock, and I remember that my parents were thinking I must have lost my mind listening to Sex Pistols and Exploited and all that jazz. It wasn't jazz, all that punk. And now it's the same thing. I'm trying to spend quality time with my kid, and I even allow him to, play some of his music in the car while driving, but my goodness, it's like torture. The generational gap is a real thing for sure, you know. That's it. He's like turning 18, I'm turning 50. Just I chilled out. I now play jazz, couple of chords, couple of notes in between, slowly. And that's the nature of life. Anyways, this video is not about music. Maybe it is. Everything is about music and reminiscing about our childhood and whatnot. We spend so much time trying to grow up, and then when we grow up, all we do is think about our past. Today is the Erection Day here in Canada. I mean the election day. To someone who's learned English the way I did, every single word has some sort of sexual innuendo. Everything in English especially can have like double, triple meaning. One of the first words I learned was a screwdriver. I volunteered to work in a bar because I thought that would be the best way to learn the new language, and also because I had some bar experience previously before I first moved here to Canada. And I was at the bar here, and this girl comes up and she says, "I'll have a screwdriver." And I'm like, this is not a tool shop, we don't have any screwdrivers, hammers and whatnot. She's like, no, I'll have a screwdriver, vodka and orange juice. I was like, why don't you say a vodka and orange juice? Such a common thing that everybody knows what it is in English, but if you're a newcomer or a new learner, you have no idea. A different event was also has to do with drinks rather than the actual language itself. The same person, I think, comes up to me and asks for a kick in the head, and I'm like, okay, I've heard it all. A screwdriver, a kick in the head, what is that? Obviously I knew from my previous interaction that this is some sort of a drink, and she called that Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola, or Pepsi in our case here, because we all drink Pepsi rather than Coca-Cola. So things like that. So screwdriver itself, to screw in English language has so many different meanings, and I don't even want to start about it. So the same thing when it comes to elections or erections. That's what it's all about. So I voted today. I'm so proud of myself. I exercised my democratic right to go and choose my candidate. Even my kids went with me. That was pretty amazing. The three of us. I picked them up at home after school. They were already home. They finished their school earlier. One first day of school after Easter break. It's like there's nothing to do at school, he says. I was at work, so I came home, picked them up, and I said, hey, let's go to the elections. And we did. So there was 5 different candidates we could vote for. I voted for a person that I know personally, a person whose hand I shook myself, and she visited me at my place of work, entertainment. I'm a musician, among other things. So she came and said, like, I enjoy listening to you. She even tipped me, man. You know, she brought the leader of the party with her one afternoon, and introduced me to him as well. And we spoke about some things that are kind of important to our community. I honestly believe that this lady can represent our interests in the best possible way. I mean, we all know that once you get into politics, it's game over, as Bulgarians say. You can't work with honey without licking your fingers. So once you get into politics, of course, you're going to have to, rub your shoulders with the businessmen, which actually rule the world rather than politicians or anybody else. It's all about the money, so the politicians really must play according to the businessmen or businesswomen, business people's rules. It's all about money, fortunately or unfortunately, which means it's quite predictable. That's a fortunate part. Unfortunate part is that it's blind. They say justice is blind, but money is blind. Money only wants more money. How it is created, they don't care. And that's normal. I mean, in that way, we are all equal. We are all indispensable because it's money. If somebody will do it cheaper and better, you're out, buddy. Loyalty and whatnot. Those are some things that used to be propagated by the knights of the round table. But man, those days are over. Loyalty, honor, all that jazz. It's all about the money. Which is, again, a good and a bad thing, because in many ways, just like capitalism stays, Adam Smith's invisible hand is there and governing everything that's happening in our world. So somehow the capitalism does take care of itself, right? And everybody else. So truly a lot of our rich people are quite philanthropists, One of the richest owners, a businessman here in town, is a huge supporter of our music scene. He once left me like a month worth salary tip. Amazing, I was flabbergasted. I think he paid me so much money just to stop playing. He said, I need some peace and quiet. Just don't bother me anymore. I'm kidding, but a lot of times, they are humans. We are all humans. We have good days, bad days. So we're not always in a mood for somebody like singing, playing. What I wanted to mention is that right in the middle of that ballot for the election day was a leader of a communist party. I didn't even know that we had a communist party. My father was a member of Communist Party of Yugoslavia until the war, and then the war happened and he changed everything. So yeah, I voted today. Happy election day. Love you all. Enjoy.